I'm back. I'm here. Don, take me. Where are you guys watching from? I'm gonna do a quick question in between. Let's see. Can you play the song you did with Alex Clare? I did 2 songs with Alex Clare. But today I'm talking about something else, another very special record. And I'm going to be talking to someone else that is very, very special. Let's see if an actual Instagram is collaborating with me this time. Names keep popping up, so let me bring in someone very special today. I have to do like the theme song for it though.
Dude!
Yes!
How you doing, man?
There he is! Man, you have a good tan!
Oh, yeah, I know, man. I don't golf really, and I went for the first time, and I burned like a lobster.
Wow, you actually look really good. Like
How you
something
doing, bro?
with your hair as well. I don't know what you did, but
I gotta hang out with you more often, man. How's it going?
it's going well.
Dude, I love the video. We haven't really got to talk enough about it, but I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I needed your permission to go like that personal, so thank you.
It's so dope, dude. And it made me, I was watching and I was thinking like, okay, so I don't know if we've ever talked about this, and if it's going too deep, then just tell me shut up.
No,
But
we go deep straight away. That's how we roll. That's
straight away. What do you think, like with a song like this, it begs the question, what do you think happens when we die?
Yeah, that is the question. After
Do
you,
you think your dad can see you from wherever, or is it lights out, or what do you think?
I felt like he could see me. You know, I felt like you know, the scene with the shadow on the floor, like it came to my mind. It comes to my mind every single time I walk somewhere and I see a shadow. I wait for him to appear.
Whoa.
And I felt moments where I noticed his presence. I don't know if you had it with your mom.
Oh yeah, totally. Hold on, let me turn this off so I can hear. Yeah, my mom is. This is where like I don't want to lose people, but I just like I've had some awesome situations where I really felt my mom's presence, and she's like a very present person in my life, even though she's not here, which is so cool, you know.
I mean,
She was a songwriter too. Her and my dad would write songs. So anytime that I go into like really any songwriting session that I go into, I go like, all right, mom, if there's any like extra hookup you can do.
Yeah, she gives you the inspiration from above.
Yeah, like I don't know how this works. So if there's any way that you can pull some strings, like hook me up, let's do it.
Is that why you started writing in the first place? Because of your parents?
Yeah, both my parents, they wrote like children's songs, and I was around all the time. So then when it came time to write my own music, I felt like I didn't know that everybody didn't write songs. At the dinner table, my parents would just be talking about like, the hook is okay, but it could be a little bit better here, and if the pre doesn't do
no way.
Right. Yeah. So I just
you have like the coolest parents in the world then. So.
And what did your dad do?
My dad, actually, he sold. This is a very. I don't even know the English word for it. It's called peat moss. It's what you make compost from, and then you grow plants from it, vegetables. So you know.
Wait, what's the real word?
Sorry.
What's the real word?
It's called turf. So
turf.
Turf.
Cool.
Yeah, like peat moss, basically. Yeah.
Oh.
But that wasn't my dad's dream. But he was very good at it. He was just very good at selling stuff.
Got it.
And he was very good at just providing for his family. You know, I felt like he had other dreams, maybe, you know, but he took great pleasure in taking care of his family. So I think that was more important to him.
That's awesome.
I wish I could say like my mom and dad were songwriters, but but they were like my dad did actually name me after Captain Beefheart, you know.
Really?
Yeah, Don Van Fleet. So he was very into like Frank Zappa, The Residents, Tom Waits. He used to read a lot of books. So we had a library. So that's basically where I got all the craziness from. It's from my dad. So.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. What a cool situation.
I want to see anyway. It's like if there's like a question that I can just kind of like throw in there that I can have like.
Of course.
Wait. Let's see. Da-da-dum. Let's see. I'm just gonna do this one. This one's for you. This one's for you, Andy. How are you doing?
How are you doing? I am doing pretty good, man. You know, like I feel like I'm taking this pandemic thing. I feel like I've traded convenience for purpose, which I'll take that any day.
Yeah, I mean you've been spending a lot of time with your family, so
Yeah, tons of family time, which is pretty cool because a lot of times I'm like touring a lot, so to be like grounded and have to be home for so much, spending a lot of time with my daughters, which I'm really appreciating.
you're a family man. I love that. And I saw a question, by the way, it said like, what's your favorite memory of your mom? I want to know as well.
Favorite memory of mom. So for anybody who doesn't know, I lost my mom, and that's why it was really sweet to get to do this song with Don. It was like exactly perfectly right. Favorite memory with my mom, man, there's a lot. I would say I have like, you know, like memories since she's been gone, and then memories when I was with her, which is really cool. So I would say the one when I was when she was still here, a good memory would be my mom was so
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I just love thinking about her.
Yeah.
I think probably like the one that's coming to mind right now, which is so, I don't want to say because it makes you sound like you guys. Do you have like Homecoming King and Queen?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have like it is in America, but we watch the movie, so we know what it is.
Watch the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I one day would have been. Yeah.
She just didn't care about any of that like popularity stuff. Why would like she was very grounded and a spiritual person. And I got Homecoming King my senior year, which is a dumb popularity contest.
No way.
It doesn't mean it really doesn't mean anything. And I remember being taught by her that it doesn't mean anything. But then she was also, I remember she took me out for breakfast the day after that, and she saw it as like her win because she had raised me to be someone that people liked. So I remember like she took me out to breakfast, and I could see that she was like proud of herself. I thought I won, but I didn't win. And it's like, I just remember her being like so. She was proud of me, but also proud of herself for having done a job, which I thought was really, really cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, you want people to be special, especially when you have children. You want them to be happy.
Yeah.
And you feel like when something like that happens, there's a moment of happiness, and then if you're a parent, like that's a proud moment because you felt like
and I remember
you made your kid happy.
Thinking like, oh, this isn't about me. This is her win. She created. And now that I have little girls, it's like, oh my God, I can't even imagine they're going to be that old. It's really cool.
You're gonna have to chase guys away.
How old was your dad when he passed away?
He was 63. Your mom?
Wow. She was 52, I think.
Wow, that's super young. Yeah.
Yeah, young.
And what your mom? What happened?
Oh, she passed away from breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. I know, but people that don't.
She passed away from breast cancer, and I got to say goodbye to her. Like it was so crazy. Like it happened kind of slow. It happened fast, but the actual her passing away happened slowly. And I remember I got to like be at the bedside with her, and we had a conversation about like. I remember even then we were both. She's very spiritual. I'm very spiritual. I'm like, I know this is the worst thing ever, and I do not want you to leave. But like, are you a little bit excited about where you're going? like, are you a little bit like, what the hell's next? What's happening? And it was such a wild conversation to get to have with her. So even from the very first point that she passed away, we were like already kind of getting ready for a new type of a relationship, which is so crazy. So I personally believe that your dad sees when all the people are freaking out and the thousands of people that come to your show and stuff. I believe you can see it.
Actually, like yesterday, I got like a friend of mine called me, and he got a call from someone who doesn't even know me. She said, "You have a friend called Don, and I want to tell you something about his father." And his father, basically all the information she said was right. And then she said, "Yeah, I saw him put his hand on Don's shoulder during a show, and he wants to know that exactly literally this song. He's seeing it, he's watching it, he's just like your mom, hopefully. And it's cool. Have you seen the reactions like to the song? Like, have you read the actual reactions below the video, below the
Oh,
posts, below?
sweet. I know
Dude,
it's like
it's.
hitting people in a really special place.
I think people know that, like, you know, a lot of these collaborations are like, yeah, we need to put something together, like whatever. But like, this is something that really, you know, like it comes from our hearts and it really speaks. And I think I want you. I'm gonna push you to do this. Hopefully, you can make like a super acoustic version, like a
Oh,
very
totally, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I would love to do that. It's gonna be
yeah.
great.
And maybe even with some footage of you, like, you know, like I wanna. This is really, uh, yeah. I think so. They were like, "Do you want to do remixes?" I was like, "No, I want Annie to do a remix, but you know, this is
Yeah,
not a
totally.
yeah, this is not one of those songs."
Uh,
But I besides the fact that the song is actually already blowing up, I'm really 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 happy. Like it's going really quick. But yeah, the reactions are like, I have had friends that I haven't spoken to for years, people that I grew up with, they found their way back to me. They're like,
yeah,
Don, dude, I'm not crying, you're crying, you know, like the Onions, they did it.
I
So
know. There's
it's
a really, there's a really sweet quote. I'm a Baha'i. There's a Baha'i quote that talks about how deeds done in the name of someone who's passed on, like if it's a good deed done in their name, it helps them wherever they are. Which I love that idea. So I love the
oh,
idea that like we hook, like you have given your dad something. I don't know what. I don't know what happens next, but I like the idea that you like hooked him up slightly. Whatever the heaven version of like a little bit better is, I feel like you've done that, which is really cool. What's
and you
his
did
name?
it with your mom, but you've done it already with your mom, you know. But yeah, I think just what I love about music in the years to come, this is gonna be something that's gonna, you know. I read some of the comments below, and someone said like, I haven't spoken to my dad in 10 years. I saw this song, I heard this song, and I was like, he called up his dad, sent him this song, and now they're having lunch again next week. So it's like that's
Man,
the beauty of music, right? Like
that's it, dude. That's the game right there.
that's it. Like we already did our job. It's like one person's life is better than, you know, like everything nowadays is about numbers. Like how many likes do we get? How many plays? How many streams? How many people are watching? How like everything is all about like numbers, and it just makes you. Sometimes it gives you dark clouds in the head. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
you're not doing stuff anymore because, you know, you want to do it. It's like fans expect something, haters expect something. Yeah, I think it's for everyone. It's the same thing. Whatever it is, whatever job you have in life, whatever job you have, whatever you're studying, we all have pressure. But we go to a point where we're not doing stuff for ourselves anymore. Some stuff, you know, things that come from our heart, that we don't think about, that we just do, that we just create, that we just do because we exist. And whenever I do something like that, and this song is one of those things. I feel, and you know, that's why I was so happy to work with you on it. You know, it feels like, okay, this is the reason why I'm doing this, because there's so much bullshit in this industry.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are in it for the wrong reasons, and then you do something like this, you're like, okay, I can't give up now. I have to stay
Yeah.
in this game. You know, we have to get out there. There will be a day where you and I will be on a stage performing this song together for your mom, my dad, and it will be magical. And for the years to come, we have a bond. There's something that we created as two human beings from one end of the planet to the other end.
Really
And
cool.
yeah, it's strong, you know.
Give me a lesson your dad gave you. What do you got? What's your favorite lesson that Pops gave you?
I think, you know, the one thing I really appreciated about my father was that literally I was very good at school. So I had like, you know, they they wanted me to be either a professor or a neurosurgeon. That's what my teacher was pushing me towards to, because I that was that pressure on my shoulder. And I told my dad, you know, like I want to probably, you know, do music. And from day one, he's like, no, he gave me all the freedom that I needed. The same thing with like
Wow.
drugs or smoking or alcohol. He's like, you do whatever you feel is right. You know, you do you. And he never, he was always there to support me, but never to belittle me, never to like, you know, say things that I wasn't allowed to do. And this really actually put me on such a level of dedication, because I didn't have to do it for them. I did it for me. He said, if you want to take drugs, if you want to smoke, if you want to you know, get drunk every day. That's up to you. And that made me feel like he's giving me that trust. So I cannot, you know, I have to honor that trust. So I'm gonna work hard every single day to make something out of my life because he trusts me. You know, I'm his son. I'm gonna do this. And I think he was a man of little words, but he was a man of great deeds. And always, I think another really good lesson that he taught me was um, to never um, lend any money to anyone. But if they're gonna ask you for money, you just give it to them because you're never gonna get it back. It's gonna go like, you know, it's gonna create arguments. If someone's in need, you just give it to them. You
You
know,
just
like
give it.
you know, there must be a reason. Like it's not a comfortable position to be if they're friends, obviously. So don't send me any DMs, guys. You know, I've had many friends. I have many friendships that ended because I didn't know that lesson. I had that like maybe 5 or 6 very close friends in my life that, you know, they borrowed money from me and they never returned it. Some of them actually disappeared. So, but he was like, Don, this is where you go. This is your mistake. You know, you have to think bigger. You have to just give. That takes away all the stress, and you know, that's just an act of selflessness. And that's when he passed away. I became more like my father. I was more. Um, I became softer. I became more open. I became, you know, I think the real person I was supposed to be.
Cool.
What about your mom?
My mom, the biggest lesson I think was that just like nothing is worth doing unless it's like spiritually important. She just
Wow.
had no, she just like didn't care about anything unless it was like, so how is that growing you? How is your soul affected? How are you helping somebody else? How is this like helping the world? And if you can't answer that question, then you should probably stop doing it. And not
Wow.
so that was, she just put like a depth in me that I really appreciate as I've gotten older, you know, because I'm like happy and I'm like a puppy and I like to bounce around and try to make people happy, and that can be too fluffy unless it's grounded in something deeper and important, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I,
your mom and I are spirit animals. Like we're like,
yeah, man.
yeah. She's my spirit animal. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
But so your mom wasn't afraid to go to the other side. It sounds like.
I mean, no, I don't think she was afraid, which is crazy.
I remember I had the last conversation I had with my dad. He was like, because he was about he was still working and he saved up all of this money, all of his life to have, you know, a great last 25 years of his life with my mom to, you
Yeah,
know, retire. And he never made it to that. And he's like, Don, the most beautiful thing, and I think, you know, you see that in the video, is like, even to his last days, and my dad knew he was going to pass away, um, he still smiled. He just said once to me, he said, like, you know, I drew on the short end of the stick. It is what it is. I'm going to go early. I wish it would have been differently, you know, but he really smiled till the end. And it was crazy. Like, how can you stay that positive when that
yeah,
is happening to your life and you're going to leave planet Earth and you don't know where you're going next? Because he wasn't like, unlike your mom, my dad wasn't very spiritual. He wasn't very, I couldn't say to him, I'll see you on the other side. He's like, no, this is it, man. Like, I was like, no, dad, no. This is not it. I'll see you there. You'll be waiting. You'll be
I'll see you there.
surprised. We'll be waiting. Mom is there. She's gonna come later, and you know, he's like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's it. That's it. You're good. So yeah, it was funny. But he, even despite that, he was really, you know, he just kept, even in the hospital, every treatment, he was smiling. Every time I walked into the room, I could see he was in pain, but he was able to put a smile on his face, and he was never cranky. He never complained, and that just blew my mind. I was like, wow. I asked my mom,
Oh,
did he
cool.
do it with you? Was he ever like? He's like, no, he didn't. That was his own battle, and like he wanted to go out like a lion. He wanted to go out. You know, he fought like a lion. He wanted to go out winning. You
It's
know,
awesome.
and that's beautiful, man. That really showed me. After that, when my dad passed, my career started. You know, because I was like, nobody's gonna do
Wait,
any fucking thing to me. You know,
so
I
when he passed away, then things started to really go.
yes, because I was always in the middle. Nothing really. I wasn't, you know, a big producer, not a big DJ. I was kind of floating around, and then a week after I made my first big song that went top 10 in my country. And then the month after that, I made another big one, another big one, another big, and it kept coming. I was like, Dad, what do you know, like, and
Dude, same thing happened to me. It's so wild.
after your mom passed.
Yeah, my mom passed when I was 25, and that was right after she passed. I met my manager, and then I had my first song go big when I was 26. I mean, honestly, I have a momager on the other side. I'm sure.
You have?
I'm sure of it.
Wow. I mean,
you know, it's funny because what she always told me, which was a cool way to look at it, was she taught me that, and again, this is like a Baha'i thing, but she taught me that the womb is where you grow as a baby, and that's your whole world. And then one day you're born, and you have to leave that world and come here, and you've been growing your arms and legs to get ready to come here. And then you come into this world and you're like, this is dope. This is so much better than that. That was like so small, like thought wise, like tiny. I couldn't even do anything in there. And she would always tell me that it's about to happen again on that scale of like craziness, that we're about to go even.
Oh yeah, you're like, this world's gonna go like, remember when we were on planet Earth? It was so small, and now we're like,
yeah, it was so like nothing. You couldn't even do anything, and now it's like you can do all this stuff. So,
wow,
I'm pretty sure
that's a wild thought. Actually, I love that idea. Yeah, that's like, yeah, we're comfortable here now, or some of us are not. Some of us are like, I know a lot of my fans, a lot of your fans. They have dark thoughts. They're they're stuck. And it's like, but we put so much pressure on our shoulders to do so many things in this world, in this life. And it's like, we're going to go to the next womb, like you said, like, and so it doesn't matter. And for me, it was like the moment I was like, it's like Office Space, right? The moment I stopped caring, it was like everything came to me, and all the answer presented itself. And I was like, nobody really, I mean, at the end of the day, like, people always used to criticize me. They still do. And I remember the first time I approached criticism like this was after my dad passed. Somebody said, like, Don, your music sucks. You don't have any talent. You have a big nose. So, you can probably smell your own shit pretty good, and you're ugly. So and so. I'm like, okay. My comeback was like, you're actually right. I have a big nose. I'm ugly. And also my music sucks. So I'm so sorry. And then we stood there. He's like, oh, well, I mean, your nose is not that big, and also you're not really that ugly. Actually, you're, maybe not even ugly at all. And also you have some good songs, and it's like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
This is better than having a fight, than me going into you going like, no, listen, you fucking suck, like,
yeah.
And that was my new approach to life. I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna go against anything anymore. If people are gonna hate me, they're gonna hate me. People don't like the music I make. That's just gonna happen. That's what life is. But at the end of the day, I gotta go lay in my own bed, stare at my own ceiling. No one's gonna, no respect, no love from people that don't care about me is gonna keep me warm at night, or gonna warm my heart, or gonna, make me or my mom or the people that are important to me happy. Yeah. So I think, that's really what brought me further in life, to be honest. Actually, we're going deep here, Andy.
This is like, it is, man. This is the good stuff.
But yeah, I think I'm actually writing a book about all of this right now, and it's with a lot of, and I am planning on doing a lot of things that I've never been able to do since my dad passed, because it's been a crazy 8 years, and I've been so focused on getting here to this point. And now I'm like, oh, there's so many things that I'm reading up on now that I haven't done, I haven't experienced in my life. And
like what?
Like, for instance, I don't know. I've never tried drugs in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm writing this book at this point with this writer who's like, he writes these crazy self-help books, which are like, he's the best-selling author in my country. Great. And it's like his 60. It's called, well, actually, I can't say that yet because, that might get, so, yeah. But he's like a guru, but a very grounded guru, right? But he's like a 60 plus, very, very sort of like, sophisticated man. But the conversations we're having is like we're both 12.
Yeah.
And we're like both like, oh, what about this? And what in a relationship? Like, how do you keep like, because you were together with your wife for like 47 years. Um, so how do you keep like the sex exciting? And he's like, oh, listen, I found the solution for this because, after a few years, it gets less exciting. Like, and he's like, all these answers are popping into my head. And then one of the things was like, Don, have you ever done LSD? It's like, no. I mean, to be honest, like, I've never done any drugs, any alcohol, any cigarettes, nothing. So it's like, he's like, you should read this article about Steve Jobs and how he created the iPad and the iPhone, while he was using LSD. It's like, okay, I did. So okay, this is kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
So we started just talking about like what you do or the actions that that you've done are not really who you are, and that really is giving me a lot of freedom. So meaning, if there comes a time, I'm planning on maybe potentially writing a few pages of this book while I'm on LSD. I don't know. This might happen. But that doesn't change me that doesn't change who I am. It just, I think that's kind of what it is. Sometimes I can be very strict about things, right?
Yeah.
But I think you also have that feeling sometimes when you're like, you get older, but you're still that 12 or like that 15-year-old kid looking at things in the same way, but you're like, oh shit, I have to remember I'm now grown up. Do you ever have that?
Totally. I think, as you get older, you keep getting to you get here. I'm like 36. I got 2 kids, and I'm like, man, I still feel like a little.
Yes.
I'm the dad here. This is crazy. like I feel like I don't know anything.
And they're listening to you. You're in charge of those little lives, and
so cool.
It's crazy. And he also does.
Do you want kids someday?
I was talking about it with the unnamed author.
Yeah.
He said like, we were asking what is the question of life, and what's the answer and what's the purpose and what is love? Love is the answer to everything. So love is the answer, but what is love? And he's like, he's written 11 books. He's done all this. He's met everyone around the planet. He said it is very simple. It is at the end of the day, it's in your children. Yeah. I was expecting like a mega philosophical, but I felt that when my dad passed away, I held his hand. Like that was the last. I felt him getting colder, but that was such a crazy, mind-blowing moment, and I felt like, wow. I was like, there is nothing more beautiful than becoming a parent and giving life and love amazing. That goes beyond any boundaries, right? I mean, you've already experienced. So to answer your question,
yeah,
I wasn't sure before. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure because I was like, I have other things that are in my mind right now. But on that moment, I looked at my mom and I said to her, I want to be a father one day. That was the moment that I knew.
I've thought a lot about this, and I think I think that it's like you can definitely do it without having kids. There's a way, like it's not a given. There's plenty of people that don't have kids that have incredible lives and are amazing. I think that what kids do to you is they force you to be selfless. And while that's annoying and hard, that I think is at the root of happiness. So when you're selfless, you feel happy. But
yeah.
To get the amount of selflessness without kids, I think is just harder because it's kind of like if you lived an hour from the beach, like you could go to the beach, but if you live right on the beach, you go every day.
Yeah.
And I think that I've seen plenty of people who don't have kids that are way more selfless than me. It just takes like a lot more effort and like every day to be a part of it. When you have a kid, they're imposing their will on you at 5:30 a.m. every day. So it's like really hard. It's like a selfless gym all day. But then when you lay down at night, you're like, wow, I just feel it's just like really special,
I mean, you told me about it anyway. You were like, now you're off the road. Like now you're like a full-time dad. This is a crazy experience for you. I can imagine. Like you were like literally thrusted from the far right to the far left. I mean, you already spent a lot of time with your kids, but now you're like spending all of your time with them, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, what a shock it must. But now I think can you go back to what like the way it was before? You know, or have you
Yeah, I
learned
don't know.
something
I think
from
it's
this
just
period?
seasoned. I don't. It would be hard to leave now. I
That's what
think
I mean.
that's a part of life. I think if I have another song that I put out with a different DJ, which was called "Good Example," and it's all about how like I'm gonna leave you sometimes, and it's gonna suck. And when I'm not
You
here,
wrote the song?
what do you say? Yeah, I
You
wrote it.
wrote, yeah, yeah.
It's called Good Example, and it's like someday I'm gonna leave. Like when I'm away from you, I just need you to know that someday I'm gonna tell you to go after your dreams. So I'm trying to be a good example. Like by being away from you, sometimes what that is me showing you how to do this. Which is like sometimes
Yeah, that's
if you're gone too much, that's like an out. But there is something to it that's like I want to show you how you go after this and do this. And a little piece of that will be that sometimes I can't be home every single day. You know.
I
So
like that. That's what I'm gonna tell my next girlfriend when I want to get
yeah.
kids. This time, like, I mean, I gotta be out there. I gotta give a good example. You know, like, what
It
you talking
doesn't. It
about?
doesn't work quite as well with the girlfriend. Better with the daughter. But yeah.
But Andy told me, you know, he said I'm setting a good example. Wait. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
patch in like a random question, Andy. Wait. Hold on. Let's see. Uh, da-da-dum. I'm just there's so many. Wait. It's hard. A lot of it is in Spanish as well. I don't know how's your Spanish, Andy.
Spanish, dude. Not great.
This is just a big up. This is one. It says this is the most inspiring live chat I've ever seen. So
All right.
that's just a
Appreciate
little
it.
big up. There you go. Just so you know.
From Mexico,
Um,
man. Have you been to Mexico?
yes, of course. Yeah, well, actually, here you go.
Mexico City was the best
Mexico.
food I've ever had.
Look down here.
I
You
gotta come.
see?
I gotta come to where you're at. Really good food there too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but Mexican food is better. I'm not gonna lie. It's better than Dutch food. Yeah. I mean, anything in South America is better. You know, food, attitudes, the vibe. You know, like there's so much passion and so much love from you know, these countries, because I know there's a lot of gratitude. My country, a lot of people are like they take a lot of things for granted, uh,
Mm.
because we already have, you know, we've done and we've seen a lot, especially in music, you know, and we don't really we're not stiff. We don't have those hips, you know. We don't have that vibe. So it's just I'm just saying, like we're very stiff. Like, um, let's see. We
Argentina in the house. Oh man.
okay. Wait, I'm just German in here too.
German.
Um, let's see. How do you both get influence when making music?
Mm.
This is yours.
I think that sometimes I use other like sometimes I use music to get me started. Like I just try to get in the flow. So I'll listen to a bunch of stuff that I love or go find people and try to study why their lyrics hit me in a certain way. And then jump off from that to start creating my own thing. Sometimes I'll just like take a chord progression from a song I love and try to mess with it that way. Yeah, I think
That's a good way
that's how you
always.
do it. You just like start playing until it sounds different than what it started with, you know.
Yes.
What would you
Dutch
say?
people are so sweet. Someone's saying they're very sweet for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, very similar actually. I also like I sometimes just um, sometimes it's just a beat. Sometimes it's just rhythm. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like, you know, A Thousand Faces, it's more like it's a story you want to tell. So it's like it comes from different places, to be honest. But yeah, you can actually get inspired by other music. You're like, wow, you're like, oh, I never thought about like doing a progression like this, or even like you know, making an arrangement like that, or using anything that kind of just inspires you. And I think
And when you
um,
did the piano line on this one, is that a one time thing? Are you moving it around on the screen or you're just playing it?
yeah, I have it here. So
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, no, it's really like it was a basic melody, but I try to like I wanted to like make it. I always want to take something that feels familiar, but then make it a little bit extra special. So that's where I did the
Yeah.
little bends and make it feel like I wanted to make it almost feel like it was an old piano on an abandoned planet, you know? So it's like it had the nostalgia, but at the same time it feels very modern, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I
But I
love it.
didn't. I'm so sorry. That's why I switched to drop a few times. But it was like in the end I was like, it needs to like really catch that that sort of like euphoria, that explosion, but at the
Yeah.
same time it needs to be feel intimate.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time also I'm a producer, so I want it to sound fresh. You know,
Exactly.
like I can't do like, oh, it sounds a little bit like this or a little bit like that. It needs to be like, oh, like instantaneous, right? You're like, oh,
Oh shit, I like that.
I mean, yeah, that's my art as well. So, yeah, and this is definitely not something that was just randomly. This is a lot of programming that was added. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah.
So, but yeah, let's see. Wait. Let me do one more. Oh, can I ask you why you love audio cuts so much? Oh, it's gone. The question. I love it because it sounds dope. That's always the
Yes,
answer
there
to
you go.
anything.
Perfect.
QU, happy birthday. Wait 1 second. Um, let's see. I can answer this one actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I chose Andy because I knew his story with his mom, and yeah, I mean, as you can hear in the song, there's like, and even the way Andy sings it, it has a lot of, a lot of emotion, a lot of. It comes from a place which is a magical place that you can't just have anybody sing. So he was number one on my list,
Yeah.
and I got lucky. I really got lucky. I'm not gonna lie, because like, um, yeah, it feels like he was the best person to represent this story, and it went from my story to our story to your story to everyone's story, and yeah, he
Cool.
was the perfect bridge between myself and the world, and yeah,
That's awesome.
that's the answer. So right there,
I love
I'm gonna do one for you. Here we go. Oh, someone's asked me something that I want to do this one. It's a little bit. It's one I'm going to answer. I'm going to do the first show again since a long time on Saturday, and it's going to
it.
be in an
Whoa.
arena in Germany that normally fits 40,000 people, but now it's gonna have like these pods in there, and it's gonna have like we're coming from the future. So if anybody wants to come by, drive out to Germany. It's gonna be an arena
Wait,
show that's gonna.
this is so interesting. Are they still doing 40,000 people?
No, I mean that's not. It's going to be like maybe 1,200 people, but they're all in pods of 4 people, like 4 units, and so I'm just going to be playing in front of like a space invasion or something.
Dude,
It's gonna.
I love the badassness of that. Even if the energy's lower, there's a rebelliousness to like we're pushing forward. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I think it will be a combination of weird and special, because this is the only one time I'm going to be doing this in my life. So if you can make it out, it's going to be both that, and it's going to be an experiment, and I'm sure I'm not going to make any money off that. So I'm definitely going to. I'm doing it because I want to do something special, and then the rest of the summer I'm going to be working on other things. But yeah, I'm not. I don't want to perform in front of a bunch of cars. That's I've had a lot of those.
I know everybody keeps saying just do the drive-through. I'm like, that sounds not that cool, but like maybe I don't know.
Nah, I mean just spend some time with your family. Maybe would be better. Okay, this one's for you,
Any
Andy.
advice? Any advice for an artist? What do you got? Oh, you're putting up another one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, do that one first.
Oh, what you go first? What's your advice for an artist?
My advice is always do the main thing is always be humble. Like never think you're good enough that you're too good for anything, because in
Mm,
the first things I did, my music was stolen. I performed for free, but it got me, my platform to where I am right now. That's just gonna happen to you. But if you're like too arrogant, too precious in the beginning, I'm not going to give you the whole follow your dreams, be true to yourself, you'll get there. Real talent will. No, that's a lie. You just gotta accept that life isn't fair. It's never gonna be fair. Shit's gonna happen. You gotta swallow it. You gotta stand up, continue, and know that you have more in you than just that one moment that like somebody may have you know mistreated you in or abused that situation musically. They might steal something from you. They might have you perform for free, but it gives you a platform and you're making steps.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to make small steps. That's what I did. I made very, very small steps. It took me quite long, but at least I was making steps. So what's yours?
Mine would be around, my advice would be to like get very comfortable with fear. That like, that's just a big part of it and it will always be there and it'll never go away. So
100%.
When you start to even just like write a song, when you go to do a show, and at any of these like plot points throughout your story, fear is going to be there telling you that you probably shouldn't do it, can't do it, won't do it. It'll tell you before you do it that you'll never do it. In the middle, it'll be like you shouldn't do it, and then if you did it, it'll be like you'll never do it again.
This is true.
And so just like get used to that. Will always be around, and when you can be like, oh, that's always here. That's not true, and I don't have to just agree that that's the truth. And you just put it. You just kind of like always. It's like a backpack that you're always carrying. So as long as it doesn't stop you, just know that fear will always be around and push through it. That would be my advice.
Fear and maybe also shame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And just like, because I think too many people start the process and then they get hit with this fear and it can like actually stop you from moving forward. So like, please God, don't let it stop you. Just keep going.
No. I mean, my favorites, I want to play like one of my favorite songs of yours. It's the Don't Give Up on Me. But it's like, I told, this is so funny. So this is in my mom's, this is where we first started talking, right? I said to my mom, there's this song and la la la, and I'm working on with someone, and she's like, yeah, tell me later. I was like, okay, why, what? I want to play you this song. So she played me, and I kid you not, I'm not even making this stuff up. She played me your song. You're singing this with the kids in a school. Yeah. And she had it on a desktop. She had a link to this to wait to play it to me. Like, wouldn't it be amazing if you could work with this gentleman called Mr. Andy Grammer? I was like,
wow. Oh my God, yeah.
Mind blown. And I was like, we hadn't recorded the song yet, but I was like, well, yes, Mom, you might be very right about that.
You might be very right. It's meant to be.
But yeah, like honestly, because this was a very special song for my mom, and having you sing it was like the perfect concoction of like emotions. She's like, wow, she already loved you before she even knew what was going on. Like I couldn't, and my mom knows nothing. I love her, God bless her soul, but she knows nothing. I tell her like, hey, I might be making a record with I don't know, I'm making a record with Jesse J. She's like, oh great, like is it a good rapper? I'm like, no. Yeah. Like, she's like, she sings like Mom, I just remixed Coldplay. Like it's like, oh okay, like is it like what, like is it like a play, like a in a theater or something? Do I need to bring a jacket? I was like, no, Mom, it's not Coldplay, it's a band. Like, oh great. So and I was like, but awesome. She knew who you were. I was like,
oh my goodness,
mind blown.
Amazing.
Oh man, and then and it was around I don't know, it was something around, it was something festive, maybe it was her birthday, and then you sent her the video, and like I all the gifts I gave, it didn't matter. I spent a lot of time getting her a perfect gift. It doesn't matter, I already had the perfect birthday gift, a video from Andy. So yeah, it was amazing.
So
like
cool. Well, give her a big hug for me, please. That's incredible.
It's oh yeah, trust me, I will do. I hope to one day meet your dad. Yeah,
for sure. You were planning on coming here for a little bit, but I guess like there's no flights right now anywhere.
No, I mean, listen, I was I was actually about to buy a house in LA.
Yeah.
We were going to be neighbors.
I know.
Uh,
So you put the hold on that for a little bit.
I put a hold on it, and I'm doing some really exciting projects. Plus, this whole project, the whole video, everything, putting it together. I directed the video myself, and it took a lot of time. It
Yeah.
took literally like months of going through tapes and stuff, and finding stuff, and puzzling together, and then
Yeah.
filming stuff. And my mom isn't very mobile, so I had to shoot a couple of days with her, and then it's like she's tired. I'm like, you need to get one more scene, mom. So it's like, you can do
Little
this.
mom, you
Yeah.
have to pull through right now.
Andy's like, he's watching us, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, but where's Andy? It's like, mom, and like, if COVID wasn't, he would be here. We'd be
Yeah.
recording, but we're kind of tied to a very small crew and like no flights. So that's not gonna happen. But one day we might record another video with you and Andy,
Yeah.
just dancing, slow dancing, the whole song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, and yeah, I feel like I'm closing off a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I wanted to do here in my country, people that I wanted to see, friends that I haven't seen in a long time, projects that I'm picking up. Um, I feel like I'm growing like I've never, like I'm growing more in a few months than I've grown in the last, couple of years.
That's
So I
awesome.
feel like this is gonna be better for everyone.
Yeah, you
At
just
the end
gotta
of the
look
day.
at it for what it's giving you. This whole
Oh,
thing has been wild, but there's a lot of good stuff in it.
but wait, I see a lot of people asking me if you can sing, but I know it's very annoying, right? If you have to sing on an Insta story.
Oh, whatever. I'll sing. My bigger question is I'll rock. What should I sing?
Is your phone almost 1,000 faces?
Man, is it on?
Someone's setting hair starting to get long, Andy.
I
Like it.
know, dude.
I like it. My hair's starting to get long too. I normally have like really short hair, but
Do you
yeah.
get? Yeah. Have you been getting haircuts or what?
Yeah, what the moment it opened again, I got a haircut. So
Oh, nice.
you?
Yeah, I think we're open, but like I have this infant at my house, so I don't know. It's like hard to tell what's safe, what's not safe. I don't even know.
It looks good. I like it like this. So
It's good. I mean, I have my wife. She FaceTimed one of her friends who like does hair, and I held it around my head, and my wife cut my hair. So it's not terrible for that.
oh wow,
Yeah, it's
that is
not
very good.
perfect. Let's be honest. It's not like exactly right, but it gets the job done.
It's gonna save you some money in the future. That's how I'm gonna do everything from now on. Just call
Yeah, I know. We
someone.
just gotta keep getting these lessons
I'm,
going.
yeah, it's like I'm just gonna call the doctor. Like doctor, like okay, I'm gonna. Oh,
Exactly.
I'm stitching.
Totally.
So okay, wait. We're gonna ease some like a lot of people sing 1,000 faces.
Um, there's 1,000 faces. Oh, where's the one? Thousand faces, but you're not alone. Would make you proud if you could see me now. There's 1,000 faces. I'll do it in a different key. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna get a really sweet version of an acoustic song, and
yeah,
I'll send it over to you guys for sure.
yeah. I think that's
Good to
better.
get. Yeah.
But I don't
That'll
want
be
to
great.
spoil it either.
Yeah, we gotta make them wait for it. It's gonna be great.
Because you know now how they are. They're gonna like screen record this, put it on, put like a little
Exactly.
beat under it, like put some strings under it. And like, have you
We
heard
gotta
the
make it.
acoustic
We
version?
gotta touch it up, make it perfect.
Is there anything else you want to sing? Like just like something like a small little. Oh, there you
All
go,
right. Wait. What's your mom's name?
Barbara.
Barbara. I'm good. Tuned up. All right, hold on. And if my phone dies, then I apologize. I love
Then
you
it's.
all.
I love you too, Andy. And then this is the most epic life stories I've done
Yeah.
in a long, long time. So, and by the way, yes, I'm coming back to Mexico, guys. I love you.
So, I'll I will fight. I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. I love you, Barbara. Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on me. Dude, what a dream hanging out with you. I love you so much. The song sounds incredible. Tell your mom I love her. Your dad already knows. He's been watching us the whole time, and my mom as well. So it's been a real pleasure to do a song with you and just become friends with you, my man.
Andy, you're a legend. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Like, I can't wait to give you a hug in real life, perform the song live. And thanks everyone. And this is just the start. So
this is the beginning.
Give a hug to the fam for me, and
I'll see you later, bro.
See you later. That was Andy, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm also gonna bounce out. The live stream was lovely, so I'm gonna dive back into the studio. And thank you guys so much for listening.